Running Archlinux in these days feels like throwing the dices. Holy shit, what's going on? Or Archlinux feels like a young lion with a bloody nose. But primarily, it's not about Archlinux itself. You can run Arch as a core system, but never consider to install the Arch user repository, the AUR. That's the problem. And everyone was knowing this in the past. Everyone who ever had. And I never try to install AUR. Even I run Arch in a virtual machine. But I was knowing it's not secure. When everyone can put in packages and nobody really controls it, surely the day come and everyone is infected, like in these days. So that's not funny. So if you run Archlinux, like here I in a virtual machine with GNOME, and you have installed the AUR, that's not good. Don't do this. We hear in these days that some Arch users just don't get updates for weeks to stay secure. What is this? Staying updated by not updating. Holy moly. So if you run Archlinux with AUR, you're not safe. If you run KGOS with AUR, you are not safe. If you run EndeavourOS with AUR, you are not safe. And I like Arch, I like KG, I like EndeavourOS, but I don't like the AUR. So don't be stupid. Don't let you be fooled. You can search by yourself what is going on with AUR, what is AUR. So like I said, AUR is an Arch user repository. AUR is not safe because everyone can bring in packages. AUR was popular in the past, but not for me, because I know the problem with security lag. What I recommend is run Arch pure, no AUR. But I choose Flatpak if you really want more packages, or install packages manually by yourself. Or consider Fedora Silverblue. You can run Fedora, the default Fedora, like all the years. It's also very up to date, but more secure than running Arch with AUR. And you get many packages in Fedora, also Flatpak. And also they developed Fedora Silverblue. Fedora Silverblue is an immutable distribution, a new system. I will also bring up about Fedora Silverblue in the future. Or just consider run openSUSE Tumbleweed. Tumbleweed is also rolling release, and you get all the fresh packages, but test it. And Tumbleweed runs with ButterFS, so you have always automatically save a backup from your whole system and can roll back to all the saved snapshots. Or also openSUSE develops MicroOS in immutable distribution, very similar to Silverblue, but different. Silverblue uses RPM OS3 and MicroOS uses transactional update. I've also made a video about MicroOS Kalpa, 2 hours, a very deep dive. I explain the system in the depth and how you can manage it. And it's very secure and safe. You always have a backup of a safe snapshot, can roll back. It's amazing. It's a good opportunity. Or if you don't want rolling, I don't need rolling. I run rolling in a virtual machine, but I'm 21 years. I'm a Debian user and absolute amazing the experience. I never had problems with Debian. It's absolutely stable over all the years. So this is for me the best option for a secure system. So consider switch to Debian or use another LTS distribution, Ubuntu, Linux Mint, or Ubuntu flavor like Xubuntu. I also record videos about all these things. Check this out and try out. And I also recorded a video about unattended upgrades. You can set up Debian with a full automatic system, run unattended upgrades like I do with my host machines. I always get the updates full automatically installed in the background and I never care about it. I just look into the logs each day or twice a week. But I don't care about updates. I just run the system and I can go on with whatever I want to do, whatever I want to have to finish. So that's my way to go. And I know I'm always secure and safe. So that's great. A short view and an example. Here I have written an alias. Applog. This is my alias. You put it into your home folder in the file .bash_aliases. And then you get such an alias. And this is just an overview about the log file from unattended upgrades. var log unattended upgrades log. There unattended upgrades write all the things, all the packages which gets upgrades. And then you know exactly, okay, what was going on in the last days. So sudo apt show unattended upgrades. Just a quick look on unattended upgrades. This is information about unattended upgrades. You can install the package and then you have to configure some stuff. For example, sudo nano etc apt 50 unattended upgrades is a primary configuration file for it. And then, for example, here you can insert the repositories, which should be upgraded. Per default, only Debian repository gets upgraded. But like I have done, I inserted here the repo for Brave browser. I inserted the repo for LibreWolf and for some other stuff, Thorium Rocks, and here the matrix element application I tried. So you can insert more things and get also automatically the upgrades for important browsers and so on, and you don't have to care to do them manually. You can just start the machine and go on with your day and work on your projects. So, and you have more options here to set up unattended upgrades in detail, but I just show this in a short way. I made a big video about unattended upgrades and I will do this in the future again. So this is my applog alias. Here you see all the upgraded packages in the last days. Brave browser Firefox just today. LibreOffice yesterday. And then 2 days ago, all the LibreOffice packages. Then we see here Brave browser and Chromium and Brave browser and so on. So I just show you, this is my alias for an easy view. And I have then always a view also about upgraded packages and packages that I set on hold. So I always have an overview. Is all things fine? All things upgraded? Or is something there? And when I have to check this manually, I do sudo apt update. And then I also know everything is there. So we see 5 packages, but I know, like always, these 5 packages get upgrades tomorrow. So in the manual way, you just search for var log unattended upgrades, and then all the logs you get put in. And then in detail, let's check, for example, manually sudo grep upgraded in unattended upgrades.log. And then we have it the manual way, like I put it in my alias for a faster access. And then I have all the packages listed that upgraded for each day. 19, 18, 17, 13, 12, 11, 9, 8. So you see, sometimes 3 to 4 days there are not coming any updates, but he's already checking every day. So let's check the older log. You get for each month, log file is moved to numbers backup. So we have for the last month an example. Here you see Brave browser LibreWolf, ImageMagick LibreWolf, bind, Bravo browser. And then we have a big one. And this was a point release, for example. Point release 13.5 from Debian. And then we get more upgrades on one day. But then it's just going each week. You get updates from the browsers and so on. So this is unattended upgrades, full automatic upgrades in the background with Debian, and you always stay safe. This is the best way. I love it. This is why I run Debian and why I created a YouTube channel where I'm so passionate about Debian, because I don't have to have emotions. I don't have to care about it. I just run it every day and I do the important stuff and not go into the system each day and, oh, are there updates? Are there security lags? All is fine. So thanks for subscribe, follow my channel, and follow and search the interesting videos about macOS, Kalpa, Tumbleweed, and so on. I bring more up in the future, but the main focus will be Debian and Debian distributions. Have fun, stay tuned. Thanks.